Bonjour, hi. Welcome to the Nadine's show, where we talk about social issues of all race and gender. Please comment, share, and like. Your feedback will be mostly appreciated. Come and join our team where we have great discussions. Welcome to the Nadine's show. Here we go. Second part. Guys, second edition. Yay! Second edition. Yay! Ah, I didn't even realize I was on. Hi. Okay, guys, send me a request and I could add you on. Okay. Okay, Brian. Okay, I'm going to invite everyone now.
Am I live?
Yes, sir, you are. I'm inviting everyone that I'm inviting everyone over again.
Hey, I hope I'm not taking over too much here of the conversations.
Don't worry, we bill you. Don't worry, we will bill you. Right, we can bill you.
All right.
Don't worry, we will bill you. I think I sent it to. Okay. Okay, Molly. I done. Okay. I did. Okay, Clover join back. Yes. Teresa, you could please send me a request. Let me see if I could add her again. Okay, Nicole. Invited. It is not stable. It is stable.
I just need to get my wire to put in my phone because my battery's dying out.
Okay, Brian. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Won't be too long here.
Okay, someone says my internet is. I don't know what's happening at nights, everyone. I'm so sorry. My internet is always a problem. Let me see what. Teresa, are you there? Hi, Tyrone. Okay, add Clover. Okay, Clover, I add you. Clover is invited.
Just talk a little. Wait, Yvonne? Okay, yes.
I
join.
Hi, Tyrone. Tonight we're talking about mental illness.
Hey.
Yeah, hi. How you doing? You're in Jamaica. How is Jamaica?
It's okay. It's hot, but it's good.
Okay, you're on the live tonight. You were watching the show? You were watching the show earlier?
Yeah, but the internet keeps glitching, so sometimes I'm here and sometimes I'm not.
Okay, I'm sorry to know that you're experiencing that problem, but we're talking.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Okay. Teresa is off. Let me see if I find Teresa again. Okay, she got oh, there she is. Teresa. Okay, Teresa, I sent you the invitation. I sent you everything. Okay. Yes, Brian. So back to what we were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen, again, it all goes back to the system.
Mm-hmm.
It's broken. Why is it broken? I mean, we could start finger pointing, but I don't want to look in the back. Let's move forward. So what we need to do?
Okay.
We are the government, I hope. We're going to need, as I was mentioning, to build these programs, more specific programs.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to cost money. And we're going to need to have social workers.
Yes, we do.
But to do that, to get people to be a social worker or to have a new generation of social workers, you have to sweeten the pot. You're going to have to give them a better pay scale. You're going to have to give them better working conditions.
Brian, you know what happened? Not only we need workers externally, but we need to focus a lot about how families can deal with mental illness. That's the big picture right now. That's the big picture right now. Not only externally, but what happened about internally in the homes. Remember, families out there, they do not know that their own family suffers from mental illness until they see them on television. Like, oh, that's my uncle, that's my aunt. I didn't know he was suffering from mental illness. And, you know, that person maybe hurt someone. Okay, you remember what happened at Concordia? You know, things happen, you know, all over the world, right? And these people were, people could not identify that their family members are suffering from mental illness.
Somebody, I think it was you, might have mentioned that before, and I thought it is a great idea. Maybe to start talking about children in elementary school,
that's what I
about
said.
mental illness.
Yes, that's what I said.
Not educated way, but very, at their level, at a level they can understand.
Yes.
And to tell them that, well, to stop the social stigmatization, wow, I can't believe I've said that.
Right.
To reduce that, but you reduce it with people knowing about it. Now, how do you go about it? You know, that once a year bell thing or whatever, like,
yes.
And it's just people trying to show, look, I donated. I mean, that's is BS. So what we need is real concrete action.
Okay, it's just like you remember recently when university and colleges, we have to do that assessment that is a couple hours, like maybe 4 hours. We do this. It wasn't like a presentation, but it was a discussion about sexual harassment.
Oh yeah, that was last year, 2 years ago. Yes.
Right. So if they could have something like that type of programs in schools, in workplaces, in worship places, where people worship, they could bring all these types of training, awareness, so families can understand what is mental illness and how to deal with it. Yeah, you can understand it, but how can you deal with it? That's the difficult part. Well, you see, now you just raised something that made, I was thinking about it as you were talking. It's because people are uncomfortable talking about it. They don't want to talk about it because it's uncomfortable. It's not pleasant. We're not talking about the Kardashians. We're not talking about some twit, from Hollywood or whatever. We're talking about a real situation that affects everybody, but people are not comfortable to talk about it. We are. That's why we're here. But other people, yes. Is it because they feel ignorant about it? Is it because it's too painful to talk about it? Maybe, know somebody that's mentally ill and it really breaks their heart to talk about it. So people have to start getting comfortable to talk about it. That's true. I saw Nikki. Once we will have done that, then perhaps, once we will have made people comfortable to talk about it, then we could start taking action. Real action. Not just talk, not this billboard or whatever you see, like, advertisement, yeah. we need that space that people can go. You know,
Yes.
that space, because put it on billboard as you just mentioned. Hey, that's not the space I want to go at. You know, I need a space I can walk freely on my own at the moment that I want to talk to someone. You know, without this stigmatization cover my head. You know, I don't want to feel guilty that I'm sick. That's the problem we're having right now. People feel so bad that they have mental disorder. And
That's right.
feel bad about it. It's an illness, and no one knows what's going to happen. No one knows.
Here's another thing too that I would see with my residents or people at work or people we all know. You know, because depression doesn't have necessarily a physical outbreak. You know, this thing where it's like, oh, you're depressed? Well, go for a walk. Oh, you're depressed? Watch a movie. Hey, you know, where are you coming from with this? Depression, it's a constant state, you know, it's a state of conscience. It's not taking a walk that's going to help you. It's not by going to the gym. It's not going to party. That's not going to solve it.
No.
Or, you know, it's as if like they're saying this person is lazy. Or this person...
Or they're confusing boredom. When you're boring, you don't have something to do. And illness, you know, there's a difference. When you're bored, it's different than being mental ill. So, yeah,
that's right.
They're totally different.
And you would think today, you know, with all the information we have, people wouldn't be so hard on people suffering from depression.
No.
They still are.
They still are.
Burnout. You know, people that suffer burnout is another one too. Oh, look at this lazy, you know,
yes,
dumbass or whatever.
Exactly.
Well, no, they're on burnout. They're not lazy.
They're not lazy. They're just in a different state of mind. You know, they're in a different state of mind. They need to come back to reality, but hey, they need your support to come back to reality.
And if a person is depressed, don't think because they're smiling that things are better. They smile because they mask it. And you know what? Even if you're depressed, you're not thinking about killing yourself 24 hours a day. So they might have a laugh every once in a while. Depression isn't always like, you know, being mopey and gropey and staying in bed. So sometimes they may laugh, but it doesn't mean that they're getting better. Something new. Oh, sorry, I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
No. I was just going to ask Clover. Clover, what do you think about mental illness? What do you think?
I think for hair in Jamaica, it's a serious issue. I think for hair in Jamaica is something that is hidden. Not many persons are aware of it. You know, and even if it's a case where it is diagnosed, it is pretty expensive to get help. So for most times, it's really just swept under the carpet. Many persons cannot identify that, you know, this person is suffering from mental illness. And so it goes untreated or even undetected for that matter. No, but I know for sure that many persons are definitely suffering from it, but you know, they just don't know that they are, and don't have the means or the know-how how to get treated or to get help.
It's not only there, but other part of the world, many places, even Canada too, is the same thing. Same. Doesn't matter. You know, they're there, but as Brian stayed out before, they don't have enough personnel to treat people. You know, social.
Right.
So, you know, the service is here, but it's not, the accessibility is not there. They do not have.
Exactly.
Right? Am I correct?
Exactly.
Am I correct? The service is there, but it's not accessible for everyone. They don't have access to it.
You're partially right. I'm not disagreeing with you, but there's something else missing. Yeah, the service is not that well. I mean, it's accessible, but it's not too many people know about it.
Right.
but there's nobody there. The house has been cleaned out or almost cleaned out. There's no more personnel or almost none. So yeah, you could bring them to that house, right? You know what I mean, like the social, the social workers, but there's so few and far in between. So yeah, I'm hammering the point that they're going to need to not only bring back the numbers that it was 20 years ago, but now even exceed them with what's going to be happening ahead in the next 10 to 20 years.
I know. You know what you should say? After COVID pandemic.
Exactly. Exactly.
We don't go that far. We go after, which is, COVID pandemic. What's going to happen to us? So basically now, when we go out to work, or go to university or college, we have to be, on the lookout, because we're going to have different people in our circles. So we have to be so, walking on chalk line. We don't want to get anyone upset because we don't know what they're suffering with. Yeah.
Yeah.
What enrages me even more is that, okay, I know the government's trying to do what they can. But again, here's another absurd thing. The corporations have started to build their own programs to help out the employees. They have their own division. They're going to have like these responders, for people that suffer trauma resulting from COVID. What, the companies already know this? The corporations know this? But the government is doing all these, just the bare minimum. Oh, if you're not feeling good, call Suicide Action Montreal, right? Or... Oh,
no,
But yet the corporations are already ahead of the game.
You know what happened? What I realized, if I feel, okay, yeah, it says that if you feel suicidal, call this number. Okay. If there's nothing in between that says, okay, go to this place. Not everyone wants to call on the phone. Come on. Use a different... Yeah. Not everyone wants to call on the phone.
Yeah. It takes time.
Exactly. Come on.
And it takes courage too. It takes a lot of courage to do that.
Yes.
Yes.
You can't just pick up the phone and call me now. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to call you. I don't want to speak to no one.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I think they should do, to be honest with you? Most of the places, I think, okay, let's start with communities, governments, or non NGO agencies, non-profit agencies, right? Let's start with them first. Not only people come to have a meal or to take a shower at these places, they should have programs that set up there on site. For example, they go for breakfast. There's a social worker there? You know what I'm saying? Not only that they get meals, but have workers on site everywhere that these people go. Right? So they can easily identify and easily, get, how would you say this, Brian? Get, it's not attached, but
build a rapport,
yes, exactly, someone in the field.
Establish a dialogue, confidence, somebody that they will eventually open up to.
Thank you. Right.
Sorry.
Workplace, they need to have how would you say now, in the workplace now, have some type of system in the workplace, just as how they have policies. Every company has a mission. They have an objective they want the company to run and operate on to make billions of dollars. They should have something aligned with it. Mental illness, how to deal with employees that are suffering from mental illness. Hey, you could put that on the table too. Remember,
Well,
I'm
it's already started with some companies.
yes, I'm just saying these are different places in the worship homes too, which we call church, temple, wherever we worship. Could be outside, it could be in your private home, your basement, wherever. They should have, a system set up in the churches. In some churches they have like marriage counseling, that counseling.
Right.
What happened about mental illness counseling, right? Brian, you're looking all over the sky, but this is real. This is real.
No, I'm trying to see how this could work. How this could be implemented?
Listen, when the church needs their money, they're going to come and tell you they need money. Okay?
True.
Okay? So I'm not against anyone that goes to church, but this is a fact that Nadine Wilson is saying. When the church needs their money, they know how to get it. And everyone in the congregation is going to pay. The church need a new roof. Oh yeah, we got to fix the church roof. Okay, the members are sick. We need to have committee to reach out to our church members too. You think church people ain't got problems too? They do got problems too. Not only people that go to a 9-to-5 job or students like us that goes to university. Everyone does have issues.
Yeah, but you know what though? I think for persons like those who want an independent view, I don't think they would necessarily want there to tell their church members who could possibly help them that listen, I'm suffering from depression and I need help, because they're going to be looking at them in a different way.
In the eyes of God, I'm not a priest, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a deacon, but my opinion, it can start somewhere.
It can. It definitely can. There's no doubt about it. It can. But I'm just saying, for the most part, I know for persons here.
I respect your opinion, but in my theory, I don't believe the word we can't. Okay? We can't work together as a team. Okay? We can be here talking this and talking that, and someone can take our advice and run with it.
True.
Right? So my opinion, I say, I'm not saying you're right or you're wrong, but sometimes you throw stuff outside, people take it and create it and make it something. But what I'm saying, mental illness can be put in different places of our lives. We have so many environments that people attend to. People go to church, people go to work, people go to universities, people go to college, people go to everywhere, right? So I think mental illness should be everywhere that we live.
And it's everywhere.
Exactly. Mental illness is everywhere. It's everywhere. We can't run away from it, because hey, you don't know who's gonna come through the door and say, oh Nadine, I'm suffering from mental illness. How am I gonna help that person? We all have to say we're not. I have to study. I have to do my own study to understand what is mental illness, to be honest with you. I have to read a lot, do my own research to know what is mental illness, how, the pro, the cons, the in, the out, everything, what is mental illness is all about. I have to do my own research to understand. That's okay. So who's going to educate us? If we don't educate ourselves, who's going to educate us?
I had to do it all on my own.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I took a couple of courses in college, CJEP, of psychology, but the rest I had to do it all on my own.
Yeah.
Until one day the government, after 10 years of operating my home, said, hey, maybe you should take courses. We'll pay for your courses. No problem. So I took a couple of courses on the taxpayers' dollar. Thank you very much, taxpayers. Where I got these certificates, but hey, sorry, what did you say? Yeah, I guess so, but thank you very much. But I think I paid my debt in return, but it's just kidding there. But yeah, maybe, well, how about this? We're talking about teaching elementary school of mental illness. Maybe we could start teaching psychology in high school.
But I did psychology class, but we never went through much about mental illness. That's it. You know when I know much about mental illness, I wrote a paper on I think I have it there. I wrote a paper about healthcare, our healthcare system in Canada, and I picked up something about mental illness. So I also included that in my research paper. Are they, Brian? His internet is dropping. Clover, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yes, I'm still here.
That's how I know much about. I educate myself. I read a lot, and that's how. About what mental illness is all about.
Right.
But you have to be.
Wow.
Hold on. I'm sending back. Yeah, I invite him. Yeah, there's internet. It's a very sensitive topic.
It is definitely
Very sensitive topic. Yeah, mental illness.
It's an issue that no one really likes to talk about, and maybe because they don't know much about it.
Yes.
So this is why you don't really find persons talk about it really. But it is real. It's real, and it's out there.
Right. That's why I study myself. I do a lot of readings and educate myself, because hey, how am I going to understand something if I don't read about it?
Right.
Seeing someone on the street walking or talking to themselves, or just knowing that they suffer from mental illness, that's not enough. You have to educate yourself too. Do your research.
Right.
Yeah, do your research, and at least, you'll be able to understand and help others, because trust me, we all need to help each other.
Definitely.
After COVID pandemic, oh my God, it's
yeah. I mean, even now, this whole shutting thing is really bears down on your mind big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
It is.
I drive you nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we just have to do the best that we can. Just prepare. We can't prepare for the worst. Never think about the worst. Think about the positive. Yeah. Think about the good. Never say, "Oh, what's going to happen has to happen." Just take that out. Just take that negativity out. We don't need that. Just be positive. If someone in your family you're going through depression, going through stress, I know sometimes it's hard. The resource is not there. Finance is not. It's really hard. What can they do? That's the thing. What can these people do?
Yeah.
Right? Hopefully, governments worldwide are taking the initiative to develop programs, social, not private programs, and telling people to go and pay. Social for families and children who they know that will be suffering from mental illness.
Yes.
Some social plans. And, government could work, get different healthcare personnel from different spectrum, and come together and develop this program so people can get help.
Right. And persons will know about it too, because when to develop something and it's just a few, would know about it. You want persons to definitely advertise them. So persons who are affected, persons who know this one who's affected can recommend them, to this location, to this institution, and say, hey, listen, man, come. Then even offer to take them in.
Yes.
so they can get help.
Yes, so that they can talk.
Because what I realize, if you have an issue and if you don't realize and can admit that you have it, then you won't get help. You don't think you need help. But once you can identify that there's an issue and you need help, then it's easy. It's easy to get it. It will be easier for the person.
Some people, but it's so hard that some people are there, right? And they know that you need help and they ignore you.
Yes.
That's hard.
And I want to look at it in a different way, though, Nadine. I want to think that they know you need the help, but they don't know how to help. I just want to look at it that way, believe me. I don't want to look at it that people are so mean, which we do know. Some people are so mean that they see you need help and won't even lift a finger to help. So let me just think that they don't know how to help.
There's some people like that. Some people will just ignore the fact that and some people think that you're joking that you need help too. Some people aside and said, oh, you're seeking attention. Anyone who's watching this video live, please, if you know someone who's suffering from mental illness, don't take it as a joke. If someone comes to you and says, I'm not feeling that great, don't take it as a joke. Just listen to what they say and help them. Because sometimes people like, oh, you need attention. It's not attention that you need.
Yeah.
Some people that have mental illness, they come to you in different ways. They don't come to you in the same way to say that I'm suffering from mental illness, but you can, identify or know that they're sick. Help them to get help. Don't just say they're seeking attention, because attention and mental illness is two different things. It's two different.
Yeah. And it's just even to hear them out, as you say, just hear what they have to say, because that sometimes can make a world of difference.
Yes.
Just by listening.
Exactly.
Just by listening.
Exactly. Just listen to. And it's so funny. Remember, I was telling you the story about the lady. She's much older than me. Yeah, she's much older than me. The lady in my okay, hold on. I think I have someone here that wants to join. Rika and Brian. Okay. Remember I was telling you, guys, I had you. Remember I was telling you about the lady that told me that someone is coming on. Hi, Risa. Hi, Brian.
Hey.
Yeah, hi.
Hey. Hey, ma'am. Hi.
Yes. Hi, guys. Yeah, you remember the lady that I was telling you about that was suffering from the mental illness? It's so funny that her story was bring tears to your eyes. Oh, Lord. Her stories bring tears to your eyes, okay? And her family, she went to her family for help, right? And you know what they said? She's not sick. They told her she's not sick. She's seeking attention. She wants someone to feel sorry for her. That's what they told her. And she was,
I can tell you that in Quebec society, I don't know about Canada, well, probably that too. It's only been about 30 to 40 years where, being embarrassed about a family member who's mentally ill has started to dissipate. Still exists, but this was so predominant that if you had a family member, a son, a brother, whatever, that was mentally ill, you were ashamed of them. And you could go back even 40, 50 years ago, which seems like a long time, but it isn't. Well, these mentally ill people would be chained to their beds, put in the basements, sent off to mental institutions. So there's still that prevalent embarrassment of having a family member too that's mentally ill. So maybe going back to the lady you were talking about. Now, I don't know what's her background and all that, but maybe there's that too. You know, the family says, no. It's like being ashamed of their child for being mentally ill. And that still exists. It existed before, and it's still not completely gone.
Yeah, that's what she told me. They said, "Oh, you're not being sick. You just need some attention." And you know, they give all those excuses, and she was sick.
Wow, we got a long way to go, eh?
That's right. Education. That's the thing. We need to educate the masses on mental illness, how to identify it, how to deal with it. What can you do? If you know someone that has mental illness, how do you help them? How do you help them?
But listen,
First step.
sometimes some of us need help ourselves before we can help others. Some of us we make the situation worse off. You know that. Some of us make the situation worse off because the way I would deal with it. Not everyone is an educator, eh? Not everyone can reach out to someone.
No, but at some point in life, we are going to come across someone that has mental illness, and we need, people really and truly need to know how to offer some sort of assistance. Maybe it's just an ear to listen to the person. Maybe that's all that person needs is someone to listen to them.
That's what I say.
So people have to be aware of these things.
That's what I say to you. The lady talked to her family. And what did they say to her? They respond, "You're seeking attention."
Because they are not educated in how to deal with mental illness. They're not educated how to be empathizers. You understand?
You know what happened? Sometimes we do know how, but we don't care about the person.
Well, that's where we have a problem. That's where we ourselves have a problem.
Sometimes some people do know, but they don't have that caring.
And that's very sad.
Maybe there's some truth to what you say, but I'd like to hope that it's a very minute,
very minuscule amount of people. Yes.
I'm talking about her family situation, the lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't care about her.
But she found you.
Yep.
There you go. And you knew how to listen to her, or to offer a word of, encouragement to lead her into the right direction of getting some sort of help. And that's why we need more people educated into how to deal with mental illness. That is what we need.
I educate myself about mental illness. I read.
But not everybody is going to take that step. So there has to be some sort of avenue for teaching people, whether it's by public or something to educate people on this.
Remember, they need to have classes. You see, church, listen, I'm always talking about church tonight because churches are powerful. Church is a very powerful place. Churches, okay? And
how many people do you know go to church?
Churches know how to congregate together.
No, how many people do you know go to church? We need to make it a public thing, like public announcement, in the newspaper, on the news, a little segment to say how you deal with this.
Teresa, hold on. Don't tell me. If you are not a person that goes to church every day, but don't tell me there's got to be 2 times in your life that you have to go to church. 2 times in your life.
People go when they're dead and when they're marrying, hopefully. Some don't go when they get married.
They know
and some people still don't go when they die. They go to the funeral home.
But I'm saying large corporations. Remember we said it before. Large corporations, they cannot program. Hey, listen, girls. Look at these large corporations. Most of them you go in, they have gym room. You know that. They set up gyms. So you're telling me they can't set up something for happy mental ill people on site?
Yes, they could. They could, but how many of them are going to do it? How many of them are going to do it?
They have daycares. If you go to some casinos, you know that they have daycares?
Yes. How many are going to do it, though? How many are going to do it?
What about
It's
the
not
mental?
making them, listen, it's not making them money. It's not benefiting them in any way. Why are they going to do it? Why would they do it? These big corporations. It's not benefiting them anyway. Why?
So what are you saying? Is only Bell Canada cares about mental ill people in Canada?
Who knows?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far that they care. It's just a public image that they have.
That's it. It's not that they care.
They don't care.
That's what I'm saying. Why would they do that? Because it's not benefiting them. And we know corporation, it's all about the mighty dollar. And if they're not making money, they have no interest.
So,
and as Brian said, it may be just for public image that they may do it.
Teresa, that's why I came back and I said it, and I'll say it again. We need to start from the bottom to the top. We need to start from the bottom to the top, right? Start teaching children what is mental illness. Putting those.
Yeah, we need to go into the schools and start with the elementary students and work the way up. That's the only way you can do it.
That's
the only way you can do it is start at the bottom and work your way up. Because if you're going to depend on the corporation to do it, it's not going to happen.
Teresa, corporation, I didn't say they all can, but they can get involved too. Yes, they can get involved. People get stressed out on the job. What do you think? People get stressed out on the job. Stress is part
of they do. And they're going to tell you that. They're going to tell you that. That's why we give you insurance so you could go get a therapist and deal with it.
That's what they do. Mental illness is about the well-being of a person, stable of mind. The mind. If you go to work and you cannot, your mind is not stable, how can you perform your job? How can you perform your job?
You can't. But again, they're going to say, this is why we provide insurance for you so you can afford to get a therapist or a counselor so you deal with your issues. We are not in the business of taking care of mentally ill patients. That's what they're telling. That's what they're going to say.
Just as how they are in the business to taking care of people who wants to lose weight, they can be in the business to taking care of people's mental state. That's
not enough money. Not enough money. Or they would be doing it already. They'll be doing it. Not enough money.
Well, you know what happened? They better start doing it because COVID-19 is going to finish. They better start turn that wheel right now. They turn the wheel. They implement. If you go to somewhere place, they have daycares. They have gyms. They have everything. COVID-19, they better start thinking. And I'm sending this message out. All you big corporation, you have daycares, you have gyms for workers. Think about a center for mental ill people. Because trust me.
Listen, how this world have changed, and how people are looking at things, how corporations are looking at things, how people are looking at making money. That's not in their sight. That's not in their vision of providing that. As I said, they're going to tell you, you need to deal with your issues. That's why we provide you with A, B, and C. You need to deal. We are in the business of making money. We are in the business of whatever industry they're in. This is what we do.
But it's the same thing for your weight. I lose weight. What benefit does my company get?
That's a $200 billion. That's a $200 billion industry, girl. $200 billion.
No, listen. I lose my weight. What does that have to do with my job?
They say you're going to stay on the job longer. You're going to be healthier, and you're not going to cost them. Listen, you're not going to cost them money. When you are diabetes, when you have high blood pressure, when you have high cholesterol.
When you're mental illness, you gotta go on disability.
But you're not costing the corporation anything.
You're going sick leave, right?
But you're not costing it. No, you're not costing. Listen. You're not costing a corporation anything when you go on, say, disability for mental illness. You're not costing them any money. You're costing the government. They don't care about that. They don't care about that.
Employees turnover, Teresa. It doesn't matter what you say.
They don't care. I'm telling you.
They have to make changes, okay?
Well, yes, I agree with you 100% that changes need to be done, but it's going to be very hard. Very hard.
There's nothing hard into helping people to have a better life and to think. There's no hard in that. It's someone's health we're talking about right now. And because
we can say that, Nadine. We can say that. We can say that, but think of the big boys up there that's running these corporations, these multi-billion-dollar corporations. Do you really think they care? They don't care. Listen. Cancer is prevalent. It's everywhere. And Big Pharma has a cure for cancer, and they are not giving the public it because it is going to take away from their money, from their pockets. So you think mental illness, they are really going to put any significant amount of money into mental illness care? You're crazy. They're not going to do it. They are not going to do it.
I'm not giving up, Teresa. If you give up, I'm not.
No, you can't give up. I'm not saying give up. I'm not saying give up. I'm just telling the reality of how things are and how big the fight is.
Teresa, when they said we cannot reform, yes, we can reform. People always say, yes, we can.
We can reform, but I'm just letting you know the fight is huge.
It's better we fight for something, and one day it will happen. If we don't fight, people don't know what we want in life. We have to fight for it. That's how the system is set up. We have to fight. How you think someone's going to come and knock at your door and say, here,
I'm all for the fight. I am all for the fight, but I have to be aware of how things are and what I'm going to, and who I'm going up against. Who I'm going up against. You have to be aware. You can't go in a blind side and be blindsided by these big wigs who don't give a rat's behind about mental illness, and a lot of time they don't.
They don't, but they have to play the hypocrite and be.
Well, yes, they can do that, and a lot, and some companies try. I'm not saying that all companies are not trying. Some companies do try, but it's not enough that what they're doing. It's not enough. More need to join the bandwagon and get on this, but not a lot of people are doing anything. They'll mention it by passing, but what are they doing? After they've mentioned it, it's gone. That's it. It's over. Nothing is really being done. I haven't seen anything major being done by a big corporation coming out and said, okay, this is what we're doing.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Mental illness. People with mental illness have rights too. Their lives matter too. We don't hear anybody talking about that.
Everyone's lives matter. It doesn't matter.
But we don't hear anybody. We don't hear any big emphasis being placed on that. We don't.
No, that's what we're saying. I'm just putting it on the table. What needs to be done.
If everyone take up the baton, then it will be heard. The voices will be louder. More people will hear what's going on, and then you'll see action start taking. But until then, not much. We'll hear in the news, oh, this person died of suicide. This person is depressed and they're ill, and then after that you hear nothing. Nothing.
I was saying, Terry, I was saying that if we look in every corner in society, that can reach out to people with mental illness, that would be good. Okay? If everyone can work as a team and reach out to the group, it will be great, right? One person cannot do it. We all agree on that, right? Government,
that's true. That's true.
Government cannot do it alone, right? Private sectors cannot do it alone, right? Both can come together and work together to build this nation, right?
Let me tell you something. Mental illness has been swept under the rug for a long time.
I agree with you.
Until, let me tell you, celebrities started dying from mental illness, from the effects of mental illness, before you really hear anything about it. We had Robin Williams, we had Kate Spade, then we had Kanye that went off the rockers. And that's when you start hearing things, you start hearing more about mental illness, is when celebrities started coming forward and saying, I am depressed, I am bipolar, I am schizophrenic. Before, it was all hidden under the rug. And so now that celebrities are out, we're hearing, but still, we don't hear anything being done, like internationally.
But
we don't.
Listen, remember that for changes to come, there's a social class here has to get involved, right? If nothing happened at the top, it's not going to trigger down, right? So if the hierarchy stands still, we won't get changes at the bottom. But because they're drifting, change is going to reach the bottom. That's how life is.
We're waiting to see. We're waiting to see what's going to be done.
If the top don't get rocked, the bottom won't get shake. You know.
Well, I don't know if they're waiting for someone who's a bigger celebrity to die or to get sick before something major internationally, is done. They're probably waiting for maybe a president to, do something. I don't know what they're waiting on to implement changes and programs and things that can really affect people suffering.
If you notice, changes has to happen when certain social class voice it, right? Higher income homes, when they voice their issues, government hear them, because guess what happened? They pay more taxes. They pay more taxes. Lower income homes, they're not paying such taxes, so they don't get that attention. Yeah, I pay my taxes. I pay more than you. So my voice is more, bigger than yours. You're not paying no tax. Who's going to listen to you? So that's the problem we have in society, right? That's one of the problems. That is why only when celebrities feel the pinch.
But listen, this is the thing with the celebrities. This is the thing with the celebrities. They suffer, but they can go and get help. Big help. They can pay psychiatrists, counselors. Kanye West was able to go and get real good professional help. He was able to go away, and how many people can do that? How many people can do that?
From the middle income,
majority of people can't do that.
No, because it costs money.
Of course. Kanye can afford the most expensive counselor and psychiatrist to surround him to make sure that he's stabilized. But a regular person walking on the streets can't afford it. Even a counselor, the hourly fees are too much for them. And that is why I say, this is where we need the government to step forward and implement programs much more than they're doing. They're not doing even half enough.
Not only government and
don't rely.
This is what I said.
Don't rely on Bay Street, Wall Street, wherever.
No, I said
on corporate. Don't rely on corporate right now. We have to think. We have to say, let the government start, then corporate will pick up. Because if you're waiting on corporate to do it, forget it. It's not happening.
Say they don't have enough money to do all these social programs. That's what the government excuse is going to be. They don't have this amount of money for social programs. You know
that's why we're paying taxes. And part of our taxes mean we need to help the mental ill.
Service. Yes, but we are
cut
just
some of them. Listen, cut right? Some of them wages. Some of those big fat cats are sitting down in Parliament, picking their noses, not doing anything. Cut some of their wages and implement it into social programs that will benefit mental illness.
But you know what happened? You gotta understand too, is that when those men in parliaments, when advocates have anything, to say, to put on the table, they brush it aside as if it's not important.
Well, yes, right? If it's not benefiting them, they really don't care. And we see that right across the board.
That's why I said small in our community, small committees, small clubs, small groups.
And that's where we need to start. And that's why I say we need to educate people so they can lend a helping hand, they can give a kind word, they can come up with programs in their community to help make the mentally challenged. Because if we're waiting on corporate to do it, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen.
In corporations, they do have private corporations that do help communities. They do.
They do. In the programs that they approve of. The programs that they approve of, they will.
Okay, and mental illness is such a big topic now.
There's still a stigma. There's still a stigma that's attached to mental illness.
But we have to work to remove that stigma, and we have to work slowly and quickly. We can't just sit and relax. We have to move slowly, but at the same time go very quickly to remove that stigmatization.
And that's again education on an international, on a public level, not just individually. We need to do a country sweep of educating people.
Everyone involvement is very important. Everyone.
You see, like how we have the news. That's how they need to present the mental illness and teach people, just like how they present the news. That's what they need to do.
You know what happened? Speaking about mental illness, WHO, World Health Organization.
Mm-hmm.
They need to do more too. Because
they're only involved in COVID right now. They're only involved in locking us down and keeping us hostage. That's what they're doing. They don't have time for mental illness right now. They're just thinking about arresting us in our houses.
Okay, so after mental illness, what they're going to do? Just take their suitcases and go back home?
That's exactly it.
When you're going to have another trauma after COVID, people be mental illness.
We don't see.
What do you expect they're going to do? No, we need more. As I said, we need more help in society. We need more communities to come together and to help their people. Because remember, we live in the communities. We know who is in the household. We know who is on our streets walking. We know everything, right? So we have to start from the bottom because we have to fight for our own sanity.
That's right. That's right.
And
right now we got to keep sane, girl, because they're trying to drive us all crazy.
When we fight it and when we realize that we need help, we need to go to government and we need to go to private sectors too. Yeah, we got to go out. We can't just live on the government alone. No, private sectors too.
Well, You could, you could always start at one and work your way to another one and another one and another one.
Because it's okay. Look, for example, in Quebec right now, right? 10 women died so far. Oh, I got 28 minutes. Okay, 28 seconds, 25.
That is a lot.
Okay, since January, 10 women has passed away, but during domestic violence.
That is